Hopefully today in this video we will be discussing about the nitrogen cycle, that what is nitrogen cycle. So let me write first about the cycle. Cycle basically means that it is a series of event by which series of event series or you can write series as we all know that nitrogen is a very essential element for the living beings. So nitrogen, like it is a series of nitrogen series by which by nitrogen circulate between nitrogen circulate between the atmosphere, between the air you can say, or atmosphere and living organisms. Okay, like cycle basically means the thing that we are taking giving back to its original place. This is what the cycle looks like. So what is nitrogen cycle? Nitrogen cycle means that we are taking the nitrogen from the air, like we are taking the nitrogen from the air and giving back to its original place, like series by which nitrogen circulate between the air and the living organism, means round like the circle. I'll explain you why it is like the circle, like what do we say, yes, cycle. So nitrogen, let me tell you the like basics of nitrogen first. So nitrogen is the element that is present, N2 is an element that is present 78% in the air, and that 78% is not useful. It is a raw nitrogen that is present in your atmosphere. Okay, and the bond between nitrogen is tri, or you can say tetra bond. Okay, so why nitrogen is very important? Why? The question arises why it is very important. Because it is important for DNA. Why it is important for DNA? Because as we know that nitrogenous bases are made up of nitrogen, so there nitrogen is required. Okay, there nitrogen is required. If the nitrogenous bases will be not made, so how will our DNA will be formed? Likewise, it is very important for our RNA. For our RNA. Okay. And last but not the least, it is very important for our protein, like to form the protein, for the protein synthesis. As we all know that protein is made up of amino acid. Protein is a polymer of amino acid. Amino acid is a monomer. So if we talk about the formula of the amino acid, so it is what? It is NH2 and carbon bond hydrogen COOH and alkyl radical. Okay, so here as you can see, like at this place, at this nitrogen is over here. So this is what, to synthesis the protein, nitrogen is also very important. Okay, so first of all we will be discussing, like there are three processes, three steps of the nitrogen cycle, three steps. Okay, Number first step is nitrogen fixation. Sorry. Fixation. Like as I told you that 78% nitrogen that is present in our surrounding is not useful. It is in a raw form. We cannot use it till that it is not binding with any other element. So in first step we'll be doing the nitrogen fixation. The second step is nitrification. Okay. And the third is denitrification. Denitrification. Okay. So let us discuss first that what does this fixation mean. Fixation basically means that this fixation means converting an element into its useful form. Okay, converting an element into its usable form. As I told you that nitrogen that is present 78% is not useful. So first we will convert that nitrogen by the process. Let us discuss that process. Okay. We are about to discuss the nitrogen fixation. So yes, let us first discuss about our first step, that is nitrogen fixation. Okay. So nitrogen is like present in the air. Nitrogen is in the air and it is about the 78% as I told you before. So nitrogen is in the raw form. So when the lightning occurs, do you know what is lightning? The lightning basically means light. It is like in the form of before the rain, when the lights are in the sky, it's a natural process. So lightning occurs. First of all, we know that nitrogen contain the triple bond, so it will require, like the triple bond will be required a lot of energy to break. So first of all we will convert this nitrogen into ammonia. Okay, because we know that nitrogen contain the triple bond, so how we can convert it very easily. So due to the lightning, as the lightning process have the plasma state. Okay, plasma state. So lightning process occurs in the sky, and as the our nitrogen is also present in this air, so there the nitrogen is converted into ammonia. Nitrogen is then converted into ammonia. There are many processes, for example, biological fixation. What is biological fixation? I'll tell you as well. Ammonia. Okay, wait. Now by this lightning nitrogen, our nitrogen is being converted into our nitrogen is converted now. Our nitrogen is converted into ammonia. So now let's see here another process. So now here is another process by which we can convert the nitrogen into ammonia. Okay, and that process is known as biological fixation. Biological fixation. Okay, so what is biological fixation? Biological fixation is the process by which the nitrogen is being converted by the help of bacteria, or you can say prokaryotes. Nitrogen converted into NH. What's the formula of ammonia? NH4, right? NH3, sorry. So it is converted into NH3 by the help of prokaryotics. By the help of bacteria, you can say, like prokaryotics are that do not have the true membrane nucleus. So that is bacteria, green alga, blue green alga. Let me complete this process as well, that how, like, then the lightning will be occur, then it will start raining. Okay, so due to that raining, the nitrogen will be going down to the plants. Okay, nitrogen will be going down to the plants. As we all know that all the living organism required the nitrogen, so then the nitrogen will be going down to the uh, like what do we say, yes, the roots of the plants. Okay, the roots of the plants. Okay, to the roots of the plant. Okay, the nitrogen will be going to the roots of the plant. So this is how the nitrogen is being provided to the living organism, or you can say a living like plants. This is the first process by lightning, because lightning contain a lot of high energy, and we require a lot of high energy because to break this bond. And when this bond will be break, so it will, nitrogen will be joining to ammonia and will be forming the ammonia. Then by ammonia we will be doing what we will be doing, like the further process. So as you have seen that here the blue green alga, this is another process, lightning is another process, and biological fixation is another process. So I'm like now making you understand about the second process. So now blue green alga like produces the nitrogen, and it converts the nitrogen, okay, by using the enzyme. That enzyme is known as nitrogenase. But let me tell you that while for the plants it is very necessary, because for the growth of the plant, because as we all know that plant also contain the bacteria, and bacteria have what, bacteria also contain the DNA. So it is very important for the plant. Nitrogenase is the enzyme that will work with the prokaryote to convert nitrogen into ammonia. Okay, and this will be happening where? This will be happening, all will be happening in the soil. Okay, this all will be happening in the soil. So now as we know that nitrogen is in the form of ammonia, okay, then ammonia will be further converted. So till here our first step is being complete, because nitrogen is being fixed, now it is in the usable form. So here, like now, nitrogen is in the usable form. Okay, so now nitrogen is being in the usable form. So now the question arises that how we can convert this ammonia now, how we can convert this ammonia. Okay, so this process till here I hope that is clear. Until here, this process is known as nitrogen fixation. As I told you that what is the meaning of fixation? Converting an element into its useful form. So till here the nitrogen is in the soil now. After then, our second process starts here. Our second process starts. Second process started, and that was the nitrification. So nitrification, now we will be seeing that what is nitrification. So converting these ammonia into the nitrate form is known as nitrification. So we'll see how. For example, we are taking here now the ammonia ions. Okay, what we are taking here? Over here we are taking ammonium ions. Okay, so ammonium ions are converted into nitrite. Ammonium ions are converted into nitrite, that is NO2. Okay, but still it is not in the usable form. Then this nitrite is converted into nitrate, that is NO3. Now we can have it in the form of useful. So now this and this is being, like we always say that how this process occurs. So this process is being occurred by the bacteria, and this is a misconception that bacteria is harmful, because no, this bacteria is not harmful. These bacteria are not harmful. These bacteria are converting our nitrogen, the atmospheric nitrogen, into a useful form. What is nitrate? Nitrate is one of the, like, a part of nitrogen, okay, in a useful form. So these all is happening where? In the plants. This is not happening in our body. We are eating plant, so by the means of the plants, when we are eating plants, so we are taking this. So now, nitrogen, this nitrate, this is nitrate. So now this nitrate is being absorbed by the our plants, and then we eat it. And that nitrate is being what? It is provided by, who made it? It is made by bacteria, as I told you before as well. So now, like, we ate this nitrate. Okay, we have it. Where we have this nitrate, okay, in our body, like living organisms like plants, and now human beings eat those plants. What? How? Like, nitrogen is not being produced in our body naturally, but we, in the, like, the by the means of the plants. When we eat plants, so we get nitrogen automatically. Okay, this human being have the nitrogen in its body. Now we have this process is known as, when converting nitrogen, like ammonia into its usable form, into nitrate, in a compound, in a useful compound. This process is known as nitrification. This whole process that we have understood right now, this process is known as nitrification. Okay, so here, like, as I told you, some bacteria are making these. So let us discuss that what are the bacteria, what are those bacteria. So Ammonia. Let me take ammonia over here. NH3 ammonia is now converted into nitrite. Okay, NO2. NO2. Okay. Then nitrite is converted into useful form, that is nitrate, and that we have in our body. Okay. So by this, for this process, the bacteria works over, and that bacteria are known as nitrosomus. Nitrosomonas. Okay, that bacteria are known as nitrosomonas bacteria, and other type is nitrococcus. Nitrococcus. And here, like from the ammonia to nitrite, then from nitrite to ammonia, here another bacteria works, that is known as nitrobacter. Okay, bacter, nitrobacter. So this is how our nitrification is done. Now, as we all know that nitrate is like form, so now we will be discussing about our third step, that is denitrification. So before that, we will be discussing about ammonification. That what is ammonification? Okay, let me write. Okay, what is ammonification? For example, we are like this human beings, like these plants are dead. Okay, after some time these plants are dead, and these human beings are dead. So that plant and human beings are buried where? They are buried, of course, in the soil. And animals are buried in the soil, because as we all know that animals and plant have organic material. They have nitrogen in their body, as they are taking from the this process what done. So nitrogen is there in the body. So that plants, animals are buried into the soil. Then that soil will soak all the nitrogen, and that nitrogen will again combining to the NH3, that is ammonia, then nitrite, NO2, then nitrate. So this is how the process is occurring. Means again and again nitrate is being formed. Okay, NO2 is being formed, and again that is providing to the soil, by the soil to the other animals, because as we know that dead plants and animals contain what? They contain the large amount of oxygen and many more compounds. You can write organic compounds as well. Okay, organic compounds and nitrogen plus nitrogen. So that will be soaked by the, like, buried in the soil. Then the soil will again combine with the ammonia. But what if all the nitrogen is being converted into nitrate, but this is not like this is not okay for the environment, because we have to give nitrogen back to its environment as well. So when this process will be occurring, means when this ammonia is being converted into this nitrite and then nitrate. So but at this some process, like nitrogen, it goes to the air. Then nitrogen goes to the air. Here our third process, third, as I told you, third. Okay, then some amount of nitrogen is being provided to the air. Okay, some amount of nitrogen due to the ammonification process, some amount of nitrogen is provided to the air to balance in the nature. So here the bacteria will be released, here some bacteria will be working, and that bacteria are known as pseudomonas and thiobacillus. I'm not writing, but so some amount of nitrogen is being again provided to the air, atmosphere. So this is how the nitrogen is providing to the human beings and living organism, as well as the air as well again. So this process is known as denitrification. Okay, and it is happening where in the soil. So the denitrifying bacteria are present that are nitrifying bacteria are present that are doing this, that is responsible for this. So all these occurring by the help of bacteria, because here bacteria contain the one cell. So that is why now, to balance it, now the nitrogen is again provided to the our surrounding, our atmosphere, and then again nitrogen is being converted into ammonia, then nitrogen fixing, and these process will be occurring. So this is what the cycle looks like. As I told you in the starting, that is the series. It is a series by which nitrogen circulate between the air and the living organisms, and here it is proved that nitrogen is being circulated. Okay, so I hope that is clear.